Hi, this is Dr. Coché. Thank you so much for listening. One of the things that I very often ask couples about when they tell me that they're interested in improving their sexual lives together is a topic that is called sexual scripts. So we certainly know that a script is something that is the background of the way that a play is written. It tells us the story of the play. It also usually gives us the background of the characters. And a sexual script is very similar. Each of us has a sexual script that we got when we were much younger, carrying into today. We learned about sexual attitudes inadvertently when we weren't looking. Perhaps we saw a parent naked and we had to figure out what that meant. Perhaps we heard sounds in hushed rooms. Perhaps we looked at the internet and we found things that we didn't understand, or we got stories told to us by friends, or teachers may have approached us in some way that felt inappropriate. There are many, many ways that we develop our attitudes and our stories about sexuality, but we carry them with us. And if we are not aware of them, they can very often get in the way. And so it is very wise to be able to be aware of where your sexual script has come from and what it is. It is also quite wonderful to be able to talk about this with your partner. So, for example, let's say you were trained to be demure when you were a young woman growing up in New England, and it was your understanding that in no way were you ever to express any kind of sexual interest with a partner. You find yourself married successfully in most ways, but you really don't feel comfortable unless you have on pajamas and a long bathrobe and fuzzy slippers. And your partner asks you about it and says, wouldn't life be okay without some of those? After all, we have down comforters and we're not at all cold. And you say, no, that just would not be okay for me. You are thinking about things that you learned before you knew better, before you knew how to process them. And it would be very valuable for you to be able to talk with your partner about that. One couple that I can think of has changed their entire sexual repertoire by talking out about how terrifying it was for this woman to be in the presence of older brothers who made fun of her, who teased her, who treated her inappropriately, and told her that she dare not tell her parents about it, and so, of course, she never did. And she carried this attitude of embarrassment and shame into a marriage with her, which has now changed dramatically because she and her partner have been able to talk about her earlier learning. So if you find that you want to overcome some of these disadvantages that you learn despite your own interests, I invite you to think about the concept of sexual script and talk about it with your partner. You might be very glad you did. Thanks so much for listening.